Hello guys, hi. I'm doing this video in response to two things that have happened in this last week, and it's my birthday today. So the first thing is I'm celebrating because it's my birthday. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I'm becoming a bit of an old gamer now. But also a bit of a moan, and I think you're entitled to a little bit of a moan on your birthday, aren't you? But it ain't really a moan, it's just an addressing a silly, pathetic yet another one. And I've told people that don't like it in the RTC community that whenever they try anything stupid or silly, I just put it out there for people to see. Okay, so but let's get on with the first thing. What an amazing week last week. We launched the FCD Mark IV Plus Adjust only a couple of weeks ago, and sales just went through the roof. In fact, most of you will know I actually do most of this work along with Helen, who does the administration side of things. And we run a small business from home and do it all ourselves. So we've got loads of orders and they have to be done by a certain time. So there have been one or two days in the last week or so where I've been up till 4 o'clock in the morning to try and fulfill these orders. Now, I'm totally aware that that could cause burnout, but things will start to settle down. They always do when people have bought initially, then it tails off a little bit. But we're still getting regular sales coming through, so I want to thank everybody that's bought a Mark IV Plus Adjust and hope you're really happy with it because it's so popular. Obviously people were waiting for it coming back out, and we're glad that we can provide it for you again. So we had probably the best week sales, which have been, like most small businesses, affected by the COVID-19 virus situation on businesses. We were affected just in the same way because we were reliant on suppliers, both in the UK and overseas, to get parts from. And if they're not working because they're in lockdown and things, we everything's been delayed to us as well. But things are improving, I can tell, just by the number of sales that people are getting confidence in buying again and getting out there and getting on with their lives, basically, which is a good thing. Okay, and maybe, once these companies are allowed to return back to full force and produce the goods again, everything will be a lot better for all of us. As long as it's safe, we understand that. But, it's time for everybody to really look forward now, we hope. Okay. Now, this can be quite a long video, so I'm going to get straight on to the not so good. Yeah, I want you to all look at me now. The first question I'm going to ask before we even go into this video, do I look like a man who has had a complete breakdown on a mental level and is so upset with the world that he can't smile and is, just constantly bickering about things? Do I look that sort of person? Doubt it. After this video, the rest of my day, as I say it's my birthday, we're going to be watching a film together, me and my wife, having a couple of tipples, and we have a great time, okay? We're just like ordinary people out there. I've got no health issues at the moment. I've had them in the past, yeah. And I've had some mental health issues in the past, which I'm not alone there. Lots of people all over the world, basically, not just this country, especially in this pandemic time. Luckily, if I didn't suffer anything like that, I'm quite a strong-willed person, so managed to get through all that, up to now, fine. But we do understand that there are people out there that can't cope, and some people have lost their lives. So I want you to bear that in mind when you listen to the words of this person. Again, I won't be giving you his name, but this person that came on at me and my wife in the last week while we were having these fantastic sales, he'd bought a couple of items from us previously to this week, and around the same time as advertising the Mark IV Plus Adjust. And well, I'm just going to let the video explain it all to you, and then but bear in mind what I've just said about mental health issues, about how my situation is, and come to your own conclusions. Okay, right, I'm going to show you slides as we talk through this, right, which explains it better. And all of these slides can be evidence. They're exactly from the wording of this person I'm talking about. We're going to just call him Gordon. No surname, nothing, just Gordon. And we're going to show you things that he said, right, about myself in public, on a public forum, so everybody can see. Okay, and we're going to go through them, and I'm going to address them as we go along. So people, if you're interested in that, if you just think, oh, it's a load of tittle tap, I'm not interested, switch the video off now, it doesn't matter. Once this is done and out of the way, we just get on with things. Okay? Right, so here we have the first slide. What happened was this person called Gordon, he decided to, actually we're on the wrong thing there, let's get this all in order. If you can just bear with me. Two seconds. Why is that not coming up? Just a second. I'm just sorry about this. Okay, I'll go from here, and hopefully everything will make sense after that. Okay, what this person did, this Gordon, was that he bought 2 advertised boxes that we do as one-offs now and again. The Book for the Dead from FCD, and a one-off which took a lot of work and things, and I thought, well, I've got a little bit of quiet time before the Mark IV came out, and I started producing a few of the FCD Astral Echoes. Okay, a wooden case box which looks quite nice and works really well. But this person bought 2 at the same time, and straight away Helen was the one that actually said to me, she said, this seems odd. Why is this person buying 2 in one go? Most people are quite happy. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're really chuffed that it was a multiple order. Any business would be. But we just thought something odd about it. And then within a day of him receiving it, well, the same day he received it, he got back to us through Etsy, the Etsy platform where he bought it, and we're just saying all sorts of things about the Echo box not working. It basically said it didn't work. He contradicted himself a couple of times by saying something didn't work because of a power connector wouldn't work, but then said that the amplifier wasn't working correctly. So things like that just didn't make sense. Okay, but what happened was he then later started saying that the other Ghost box had a fault. And you can see here from his letter, he sent me a letter as well. And in the letter, there's a handwritten letter, which I still have. He started saying these issues about the Echo. He put a cosmetic speaker had fallen off it. Well, this was a speaker grill at the back of the wooden box, which was only super glued on, right? Super glued to cover up holes that had been made in the wood to let air get to the amplifier, because it was quite a powerful little amplifier in there. And I tried to, because I always do, I always go over all of our products, make sure that they're quite well made. And I tried to pull this off, it was super glued on. And when the parcel came back from this person, who sent it without even telling us that it was coming, it just turned up on the doorstep, that little grill, which is only two inches across, not very big at all, plastic grill, it had bits of wood where it had been torn off the back of the actual case. So it hadn't fallen off. It had been pulled and torn off. Okay. He said about the Astro, the volume was turned up, and he said that he received it in that state that it was turned up. Well, he might have done it. I don't go around every knob after I've tested it and turn it all back down to 0 again. In fact, some people prefer that I leave the settings on the boxes exactly how I have them while I'm testing it and using it, so that it makes it easier for them to operate it from out of the box, so to speak, so they get used to it. But he said because the volume was turned up and he switched it on, he believes it was blown, hence it wasn't working. But you'll see in a minute that none of this makes sense. It wasn't blown at all. The Arduino lights up. This is pretty basic stuff, really. There's no Arduino in the Echo box. Doesn't use that system at all. So again, don't know what he's talking about. Main amp does not power up. Well, it won't power up if you've already said that it's blown, will it? Well, this is what he's trying to get us to do. the battery wire far too tight. Now I'll put partly false there because I will agree it could have done with just a little bit more length to make it easier, but it wasn't where you couldn't plug it in. Do you know what I mean? You could actually plug it in and take it out. So I did it several times. Yeah, I agree. You can make that slightly a bit longer, but not a massive issue. Power from the mains doesn't power up. So now he's saying that the mains adapter in it doesn't power up to the box. The box is not powering up when it's plugged into the mains, because it could work on actually batteries or the mains. It powered up every time I had it here, no problem at all. In fact, it would not be able to say something like the Arduino, but there wasn't an Arduino in there, lights up if there were no power going to it. This all does not make sense, does it? All right. Unit sent directly in this state. This is what he's saying. He's covering himself, saying that all these things that I've said about it were like that when I picked it up out of the package box. Well, it wasn't. We test our products, and we have video of testing them to prove that these items, arrive in the condition that we say they are. I'll say 99.9% of people who have ever received an FCD Ghost Box from us will attest to that. Okay? Things may go wrong later. Who knows? Sometimes things get damaged in the post. It's pretty obvious that because you've got damage to the outer carton and things like that. But to just say something has turned up in a state that he's describing, which clearly aren't true in some cases, such as the powering up, and then saying the Arduino lights up. How could it with no power? So things just don't quite make sense, do they? Okay, we're on to the next one here. Right, so what happened then was he sent it all back, and I made the decision. Well, me and Helen made the decision. We talked about it. Helen looked at one or two of the aspects of the box. Wasn't very well wrapped up. It was just shoved into a box made out of two boxes, and there was not much packing in it. He'd obviously used some of the packing that we put in it, but there were big gaps in the box and things. So, and the two ghost boxes were just laying next to each other, so they could have, knocked against each other and things in his return shipping. He didn't send back the 3.5mm auxiliary lead or the instruction sheets or anything. He just sent the two boxes back because he wanted me to look at it and then repair it and send it back to him. Under our guarantee, I would do that. But there were things about this that just didn't seem right, and you'll see why in a minute. And I'd already thought about these things before I decided to do the return. So what we decided was we'll cancel his order for the two boxes, which we did, and refund him in full, less £3 for the auxiliary cable that came with it that he's kept. Okay, and then what happened was straight away he orders a Mark IV Plus Adjust. Now that you'll see in a minute when we go through the slides, makes no sense whatsoever. So what I did then was went straight on to Facebook. We'd advertised the Mark IV on there in a particular group that I'm not going to mention again. It's not the group's fault at all. Okay, it's one of the members on the group who I believe is still there, unfortunately. But even though I've told the administrator of the group about his actions, but what happened is he just went on a massive rant against me personally, not about FCD in particular, but just me as a person. And this straight away, I knew I was right about what I'd thought about this customer, because similar people to him, and you'll see the connections in the ITC world, were doing exactly the same thing 3 or 4 years ago. Okay. But I thought, well, you don't need to really be dealing with this in public, basically. And I explained why I had cancelled his orders. Didn't even let the order for the Mark IV go through. And, he basically gave these replies. And I want you to see now that I feel that me and Helen were both right about making that decision. Because we do not need customers, we never have done, who think it's clever to try and pull one over on us and try and cause problems. It's gone on a selling site, right, on the internet, Facebook insight to try and just trash me as a person, because he can't trash the devices. He tried doing that, it didn't work. So now he's gone on this rant. And this is what he put. But Nigel, you have been trolling yourself out of the last 2 years of the 15 years you've been in free fall in your mental health. You are full of conspiracy and falsehood lies. You really are deluded. You have a mental health issue with any of your business customers purchasing more than one box. You are crazy, as you keep saying to your younger wife. You should be dead serious and taking things seriously and not putting your customers in the agenda. Falsehood, conspiracy, you are deluded and fast to bring blinkers up. 15 years on, I should have been faster to know your agenda. So can you see what's happening here, guys? I talk a lot about this agenda that certain people, not all of them, but certain people have within the IT community who think by trashing somebody, especially in the early days of FCD, till it got to a point where they couldn't really do it much anymore because we've got so much fantastic reviews and feedback from thousands of customers that what they say doesn't hold water anymore. They made things up about us and it's just not relevant anymore. So now he's gone back to that period when they were doing that. He obviously probably was thinking in their same way. And I believe he was, and I'll show you on these slides in a minute why. Okay? So, but what concerns me here is that he thinks it's right, which remember I mentioned right at the beginning, to start having a go. Say if I really did have a mental health issue, which I don't, but say if I did, is his attitude right towards that? There's some people that suffer tremendously with mental health issues, and to be going on like that to begin with at somebody, it's just, he's the crazy one, I'm afraid. Okay, and he goes on in this public, remember this is to the public and they're all seeing it that are in this group. I can also buy multiple more items on multiple more house addresses, bank accounts, etc., etc. You don't have access to the bank details through Etsy. So yeah, you repair them boxes, the Astral Echo, is going to cost you moreover, then you go ahead with selling it much cheaper and someone getting a good deal. As you put in your message to me, I did say that because I can't sell the object once it's been sold as new, right? As a new object again. That isn't good business practice. It might be something that he thinks is clever, but no, what we do is then we look at them, make sure they're okay, and then sell them as a second user item, okay? And people get a good deal then. And he's sort of threatening now that what he's going to do is waiting for it to become on sale again and get it cheaper than what he originally paid. I'm afraid, my friend Gordon, you're not going to get anything, not from FCD. And you can get somebody else to try and buy it. We'll find out, believe you me, what you're doing. You'd be best just getting on with your life, really. And so childish, just childish. Don't you think in them first few things about he can set up multiple accounts and banks? And it's just ridiculous. And then he says he has no agenda or no reason to act the way he does. Okay. I might start selling boxes, okay? Well, if he does, he wouldn't be the first person to do that, would he? I can get those boxes you use as a Mark IV at £3 each per 100. I've heard all this before, okay? If I buy 500 units and get them £2.38, I could put out a box under £30 and still have plenty of pocket. Well, if you can do that, Gordon, do it. Do it. Show the world that you can do that. I guarantee you'll be out of business within a couple of months. But do it. Because at the end of the day, the cases, right, originate in China. Everybody knows that. They're off a Bluetooth model that I have a contract with, just like we do with the little Ghost Boxes with TechS. I know John, the sales administrator in the UK for those boxes, and we have a deal going on, which businesses do. That's how you work. I could have my names if I wanted, printed professionally. It costs money, so I've held back from that because we want to try and offer the Ghost Boxes at an affordable price, which we've always done. It would have to go up if I did this, but I could have my name professionally emblazoned all over those boxes that we use for the Mark IV. That's because we're in a contract with the company. They offer that. But he's talking about, yeah, you probably could go at about well, £3 about half. Probably went about £6, £7, maybe before the pandemic. If he can show me where he can get them for £3 each, in fact, you can't get them unless because they're a limited supply. So he needs to prove that, doesn't he? He needs to go make them like he's doing. Put all the parts in that we put in them, the time, the labour, make them look exactly the same as ours, and show me that he did them for under £30, and I'll believe it then. Okay, there you go. But this was going on, like I say, years ago when they were attacking us when FCD didn't have this sort of like providence now that we've got. It's the same talk from the same people, and he thinks it's new. He's putting it to the public to try and make them think he's ripping you off, but he won't address the people that really do rip off. No. Okay. If I want to build my own boxes, again, Gordon, build your own boxes, mate. Nobody's stopping you. I could. I can. Yeah, you can. Nobody's stopping you. Why he's making that point is that he thinks that I'll be offended by that. I couldn't care less. I hope you can. You're good at doing it. Good luck to you. Bit of jealousy there. That's all that says. But I see no point. There's enough people out there doing so. You see what I mean? It just sounds like jealousy, doesn't it? Of course, he won't say it is. He'll just say it's some other reason. And this is where they do the blackmail thing. Do you remember Mark Coltus? When I pulled him up something a few years ago, I'm not going to go over it all again because apparently he's had a breakdown. This guy will be telling you in a minute all about it. I have different views on Mark Coltus, which came to fruition a few months ago, before the pandemic, or just around that time it started, about a year ago now, isn't it? Yeah, that are not the same as this guy thinks of him. Okay, I'll tell you why in a minute. And he's putting this is the blackmail bit they tried to do. I've seen it so many times. I supported you. You forget what he's just done. He's just called me names about mental health and things and that. But then they forget they've just said that 10 seconds earlier and gone to this. I supported you, or should I say not taken sides, in your mental breakdown 2 years ago with certain other builders. I'm going to read the whole thing, then I'll address it. Be wary by the game you play. It may come back threefold. Your life is all about daily negative rants of your conspiracy theories and your agenda. Nobody is listening. I hope nobody's listening to this too. It actually puts people off from doing business. Okay, well, we'll just, before we go on to the second part, which is untrue, but right. So he supported me years ago when the other builders were actually attacking FCD. So he obviously thought at some point, he's saying that I were correct. He doesn't anymore. Beware he thinks it's all a game, conspiracy and things. Yeah, I've been involved in all of that. They're nothing to do with building the ghost boxes. It's a completely separate thing. There are different aspects of the paranormal and you can be involved as many as you want. There's no great big issue there as far as I'm concerned. He seems to be just jealous about anything I do, who I do it with, or what I produce. That seems to be all that says. He's very concerned nobody's listening to me. Why? Why are you concerned about that? Doesn't make any sense to me. You've just said, Gordon, that everything I do is rubbish and everything, but now you're worried that somebody might be listening to me. Well, that's weird, isn't it? It actually puts people off from doing business. I need to inform you this, and most people know it anyway, that are genuine customers. It's not bragging, it's just fact. I worked damn hard. Do you know what? In that last week, when I told you the Mark Force was the best week we ever had, I was up till 4 a.m. some mornings last week, building for people, for customers. I do it all on my own. Do you know that? You know, when you come to build all these for £3 each, bear that in mind that you're going to be a very, very busy man, Gordon. Let's see you do it. Okay? Let's see you put your money where your mouth is. Because I tell you, a person that's got your attitude won't last 5 minutes. But carry on. And, you know, it's hard work. It's bloody hard work. I could easily pack this in, go get an ordinary job. But I'm getting on. I'm 60 odd now, so I probably won't find one that easy. but I don't need to find one that easy. Do you know what I mean? I could just do anything really, cleaning job, anything. But at the end of the day, I have produced a product that people like, and I'm running a business with it. There's nothing wrong in that at all, apart from these silly people who have a jealous streak in them, and at any opportunity, if they see you as a threat to them and their friends, they go out on the attack. Because they don't do anything else apart from that. You'll see. Anyway. So, he's saying that it's put... Well, I was going to say, it's not bragging, but since we started FCD 4 years ago, it's flown by than 4 years, we've actually, this is the actual thing, he's going to tell you something different in a minute, because he's not telling me it, he's telling the public that are watching that sales group this. He's lying to them, basically. He knows I know that that's incorrect, because I run the business. I should know my own figures, you know, because I sell them and produce them. I know for a fact and can show paper. I've shown it anyway online before. When we had, I won't do it anymore because I could do if I really pushed, but I've got better things to do. But 3,000 units of the Mark IV were sold. The original Mark IV, 3,000. Then there's probably been double that with the small Ghost Box hacked radio in that time. Plus, we've sold of the Mark IV Plus, just not the latest one, 2021, we've sold probably about 600 units of that. Now, what is... So you add all that up, you're talking thousands of Ghost Box produced by me on my own as one person in 4 years. Thousands. Okay? And what he goes on to do now is he goes to Etsy, which people know that we came off eBay, where I sold the majority of the boxes over those 4 years, in thousands. Okay, if you don't believe me, go and ask eBay. But we came off eBay because they do nothing about the idiots like this person, like Gordon, who constantly troll you, constantly try to fraud you, constantly buy things and then use them for a little bit and send them back. And all these scams that are going on, eBay do nothing about. They're not interested in that. And more people recently are realising this and are going away from eBay to places like their own websites and Etsy, which is a lot better. The fees are lower. It's just a nicer experience. So what he's done, he followed me from eBay probably onto Etsy. Oh, we can't have Nigel producing FCD boxes on Etsy and not getting all the hassle and aggro that we can give him. Let's go on there now and troll him there. That's what's happened here. And he's saying to people, well, look, Etsy, 164 sales. Not very much really. 164 sales in a couple of months, my friend Gordon. Yeah? 8 weeks. 164 sales. That's quite a few, isn't it, my friend? Have a look at the other Ghost Box builders on there and see how many they've sold in that period. It's like 20 odd. Anyway, eBay wasn't much more in sales either. Well, again, does he want to prove that? Because he's completely wrong. I've told you it's thousands. Anyway, your website where you can false claim any numbers, really? Well, yeah, I could, couldn't I? But I'll tell you what I can do, God. I can show you all the reviews that are on the website, because we take them off every so often, but we keep them in a log, and you're talking thousands. My friend, thousands. Okay. And that's not false claiming anything, it's just the truth, and I'm very happy it's the truth, because we're running a successful business, giving affordable products to people within the paranormal community and helping them. Something that you don't seem prepared to do at all. So here he goes, the threat comes then. He's tried to make out that he's right about something that he knows nothing about. Right? So what's your agenda? So now, because I've said these people have an agenda against FCD, it's just this narcissism. They turn it all round. Move on without your YouTube video. Also now, he's worried that I might, where it was, he's scared to death that I bring out this video. He thinks I'm going to name him, so you all know he's a liar, and that he's just a, a bit of a con man, really, and a person that's just trying to do something clever, but it never worked out. And none of these people it ever does. They're so silly with their attitudes towards things that it never works out. So now he thinks that if he says that, right, he thinks that he's going to make a massive tsunami for me. Okay, I'm surprised I can spell that, because the amount of times, you can't see it on the amount of times I've had to put his grammar and his spelling correct and things in this is amazing. But I'm not going to attack him for that. He's not on his own there. A lot of people find it difficult. I'm not the best writer in the world, believe you me. But I'm just going to say, he needs to have a good think about what really how clever he is before he starts making clever statements. So what's your agenda? Move on without your YouTube. No, it's here, mate. It's here. Gordon, it's here. You're reading it. You're listening to it. Okay. And now he goes on about me, FCD, should I say, and myself, running an illegitimate business. Okay, for his reasons. I've been in business with FCD, and I've been in business with opening portals for a lot longer than that, from 2009 to date. Okay, and FCD's part of opening portals. It's the Ghost Box production company of that. For the last 4 years, with no problems from anyone governing the business. And I've had editors, creditors, I've got an accountant that looks at things. There is no problem at all, Gordon. So try not to worry too much about that. Because putting things like this to the public, just watch the DWP threshold. Yeah, we do. We know how to do that. We're nowhere near the VAT threshold either. So, like I say, what are you worried about my business for? Just watch the tax threshold, and you should actually register with Companies House, either England or Scotland. Oh no, just for your information, selling rights between England and Scotland, completely different sets of rules. Yes, we know, but it doesn't matter. You can sell anywhere through your own website and Etsy. WooCommerce is the platform we run, right? You're allowed to sell through their system, which is aware of all these conditions. It tells you in the terms and conditions. And Etsy, you're allowed to sell to the places that they provide the information for without a problem. So what is your problem, Gordon, really? You're just silly. You actually broke a few of those terms. Well, if I have, you need to go to somebody in authority, don't you, Gordon? Tell them, and after they've listened to you, they'll probably know exactly what you're about. But go tell them, and let's see what happens. Instead of you trying to put that in public and be clever, because nothing will happen, because I run a legitimate registered business. Full stop. I'll let you go research on that. Well, yeah, I did all that years ago, the research. Did it years ago when we set up the business. That's what you do. You have a business plan. You go to the bank. They look at it all. Gordon, you're well behind the times, mate. And all this is going on about charity. He thinks people will be blinded with science there. That he's such a clever man. He needs to go back to doing, I think he does, I'm not going to say it, but something to do with the music. I know exactly what it is, but the best he is, and I bet he's out of work at the moment, probably why he's so bitter. He's involved with producing music for the public, put it that way. Okay, so we move on from the silliness onto another one. So now he's gone straight back to, this is all he should have been addressing really in private, is the product which I sold to him and why he wanted to return it. But now he's gone through all those other things. He's deciding to let the public know about what I should have done as a business. And he's put, you sent me a faulty one. I asked for it to be fixed. You sent me a faulty 3.5mm jack. It's under warranty. I asked for them to be fixed. No, Gordon, my good friend, and the Etsy messages will show you that. I offered to fix them for you before I realised what your little game was. Okay, so let's not get it around to, you never asked me to fix them. You didn't really reply to that and then just sent them back. That's the truth. They turned up after about 3 or 4 days after we talked on Etsy. I thought that you'd probably come to your senses and were just using the boxes, right? But then they just turned up with the postman on the doorstep and didn't even know who the box was from till I opened it. I bought the Mark IV Plus, so all 3, and these are all his capitals, remember. What capitals mean? They're shouting at you. And I've got mental health issues, according to him. Right. I bought the Mark IV Plus, so all 3 could be sent back to me in one box. But you are deluded with the mental health issues that you've been working with a breakdown for 2 years. So I've had a breakdown for 2 years, and I'm working. He's upset that I've managed to keep working. It means running the business, I think so. Who knows? For 2 years with mental health issues. That is really odd, isn't it? Because I don't think I've had any mental health issues at all for the last couple of decades, really. But I know what they are. But so you need to qualify that. What does it mean by a breakdown I've had for the last 2 years? People could easily go on Facebook and look for the last 2 years at all my posts and things. And is there any suggestion there at all that I'm going for a breakdown, other than I'm just talking to my customers or putting out our products, and then I've been doing these videos on YouTube for the last 2 years? Do I come across, I'm asking everyone to do this, do I come across as a person with a mental breakdown? Again, it's disgusting, Gordon, that you're attacking anyone that might have gone through a mental health issue and has had a breakdown. Say if it were true, what you're saying about me, and I hadn't had that, why are you attacking somebody like that? But it isn't true. I'm fine. Do you want me to start singing a happy song to you now, just to prove to you that I am? It's my birthday, I could do. No, but you see my point, you just, I don't know, what a horrible, bitter person to be able to talk and act in that way. That's all I'm going to say. I'm surprised that you have any customers. Well, I've told you we've had thousands, Gordon. Thousands. Okay? I'm sorry if that upsets you. Maybe you prefer it for me to say, yeah, I've had a mental breakdown and I've got no customers at all. But that's why we keep going year after year, because I have no customers, but I just keep doing it because I'm mental. Would that work, Gordon? Wow. It amazes me how so immature some people can be. Really. And it's a massive honour for you. It's a massive honour for me, Nigel, to actually let me know that you don't program code any of the whatever soundboard module you use. Well, he knows now he's tripped up, because he said, do you remember right at the beginning about the Arduino being in the Astral? He hasn't got a clue, has he? He hasn't got a clue. He's this big expert on electronics and audio and things, and there's no Arduino in there whatsoever. It's not based off an Arduino computer at all. System. He's presuming something and doesn't know. Okay? I suppose from about 300 yards away, the FM radio receiver module that's in there might look a bit like an Arduino. It's about the same size as one of the small Arduinos. But I doubt that you'd have to be a long way away to not see that it's not one of them. But there you go. That's. I think you could probably, what he's getting confused with, he ain't got a clue. You probably could, and I'm sure you can. I haven't done it myself, I don't need to. But I'm pretty sure you could use that same FM receiver to connect to an Arduino and program it that way. You probably could do that, but we never have. We don't need to, because this process is much more simpler than that. Arduinos do not come into it in any way, shape or form. But we think we know why he's mentioned Arduinos, and we'll go on to that in a minute or two. Okay, so it's a massive honour for me, Nigel, to have let him know, right, that I don't do any of the programming, and that there's a third party involved. Well, who is this third party? I haven't got a clue. Ever since FCD Ghost Boxes started, the only person that's ever helped me is Helen. And she doesn't know anything about electronics. She does the administration, the parceling, the order side of it. That's all. I've done it all by learning, by experimentation. Early on years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I was doing all this. Looking at how these systems come together, learning about the history of ITC, ghost boxes, spirit boxes, etc. That's what people do, Gordon. They don't need to rely on other people then. They know how to do it themselves. And they don't copy people either, Gordon. Okay? And he's put, I have all that from your message. Of your Daily Mail rants and non-customer friendly service. So he's worked out from all my daily messages, which I don't always give daily messages anyway, he calls them rants, a non-customer friendly service, that I don't actually produce the FCD Ghost Boxes. I think, Alan, I'll tell you what, I think we'll do a video on me. What he wants me to do is, and this is part of their little, they think you can't see through it, right? I'm not bothered. People buy them and they can see. Some people know exactly how they work, right? We're not deluded in any way, shape or form. You can look inside a ghost box, you know. It's not a big secret, is it? But the thing is, he obviously doesn't have a clue what's inside it, and he's trying to get you. He thinks by putting that, because we've seen it so many times before, he thinks this is all new, but it's ancient history to us. From these, they're the deluded customers that think they can get a box, copy it, and sell it. There's much more to business than that, my friend Gordon, believe you me. It's called hard work. Okay? Not taking shortcuts and building up a reputation and getting on with customers. How do you think we've kept going for so long? We've kept going all the way through the pandemic. Many big businesses have fallen by the wayside, but we've kept going. That must really get your goat. But it's because we do offer good customer service. We do appreciate the people that give us fantastic reviews. Some are really lovely, lovely people who go well out of their way to actually send us, honest and genuine reviews that we really appreciate. And that makes all the hard work worthwhile. That's why we do it, Gordon. Not because we're mental or suffering a breakdown or anything. That's just all in your head, unfortunately. Very silly man. Oh, we've just done that one. We're going to do it again, do I? Okay. I think we've done that one. Yes. Not that. All right, and then he goes on. There's only a couple more of these, so it doesn't get too boring. He's put that agenda you claim I had from the start. Okay, so I don't remember ever claiming he had an agenda from the start. I just claimed that I think we worked him out. Strange things is I don't see any, it means anyone, blasting you or your business. No, you won't, because there's nothing to blast. Gordon, I'm sorry about that. I really am, because in your world, what happened a couple of years back with these other ITC builders went wrong. All we did, right, which you call a mental breakdown or going off on one and all these, but we just made a decision, that's me and Helen, to move away from them builders. We could see that they're not happy with other people building. They want to be the only ones. We could see that, and they attack, and they're the ones with agendas, and the sly, and they just. It's not all of them, but a good majority of them here in the UK and overseas are like that. It's in their nature. Now, I think that's detrimental to them, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that seem to be not doing very well. We're doing okay. We're doing really well, So you're not going to see, you say it's strange, it isn't, it's just logical, Gordon. You're not going to see many people, but any people, there are one or two like you, but blasting your business. And that's the reason why, because we don't have, most normal people don't have a reason to blast us. Okay? Or even the box state in how you sent it. So he's thinking, and this is what I think he's trying to get at, he's trying to say that when there'll be loads of, he's trying to say thousands of people are buying things from us and not giving genuine reviews, or we're leaving out the reviews he thinks are genuine, are the ones slating us and blasting us. No, that isn't true at all. We put, whatever reviews are there that come through to us, and that most of the people, if they're unhappy with something, you know what happens, Gordon? They get back in touch with me properly. They're not telling me what to do in their letters. They're not arrogant and think they know it all, Gordon. They're not doing it because they want to achieve something else, which is going to become apparent in a minute at the end of this video. Gordon, you're going to be surprised what we know. But they're not like that. They're genuine customers that bought it, and yes, sometimes things go wrong. So we're happy to help them, and it gets resolved, and they still give us a good review. Oh dear, I'm sorry you don't like that, but it's true. So you're saying that, or even the box saying how you send it, not on YouTube, Facebook, or anything. No, you're not gonna. That's the truth. You're not gonna. You might get one or two, and they're usually you and your friends, and we don't allow them on when they're lies. If they've got some substance behind them, right? If they're actually based on truth and fact, then we'd admit that and say sorry and put them on. But they never are they, Gordon? So here he goes. I was genuinely purchasing for something much bigger than going. So here's the hub of the problem. He's got to it himself in the end. He's jealous. When the Mark IV Plus had just came out, not this latest version, we had an order, right, from Sean that runs and back. Well, Sean sent the order in from Ghost Dimensions. I'll be honest with you, because I'm so busy with the boxes, and it's not to be rude to them. I think they're fantastic. I found everything about Ghost Dimensions since, and they work bloody hard, them two. Again, people are jealous of them. They're on it 3 or 4 times a day in front of video. I know what it's like just doing this one today. It's hard work. You've got to prepare it all and everything and that. But they're always going to get, and they'll know this, Sean and Bex will know this, they're going to get detractors, they're going to get trolls, they're going to get people that just don't like them for one reason or another. It's part of the internet, okay? But here's the problem. People like Gordon are jealous. They're jealous people, because what's happened there is that Sean came to me, he ordered one of those. He didn't say, I'm Sean from Ghost Dimensions, I'm going to order your box, and we're going to, self-promote you or anything. He never said that. We've never had a contract together. We've never, they are not under any obligation to use my boxes in any way, shape or form. And if they'd have got one, think about this, because he didn't say that it was from Ghost Dimensions and how big and fantastic they are, which they are. I don't care what anybody says, they are. And they're lovely people too. And look, they've got on TV, they've been on TV channels and things. They've got on with the top of the top because they're nice people. That's what, Gordon, you need to take in hand. Your whole attitude as a person, not just what you can produce. I can produce a ghost box, just like, no, you've got to be a decent person first, or try to be. That helps a long way, mate. And they're great people, I've found out since. Not because they're promoting my box. Even without that, I do like them. They seem lovely people. Now, what it is, they themselves took it on a few months back on board to start using, obviously they bought the box, they probably wanted to find out where it was. How would I not know? Say if it were rubbish, let's just say that everything Gordon said is true. They might have gone on that show, which is, it attracted thousands and thousands of viewers, and it would have caused a lot of harm to FCD Ghost Boxes if they said it's completely rubbish, wouldn't it? I don't think it would have helped us at all. But they are actually helping us by being honest and using the box and getting fantastic. And they have other people on, right, on their shows who use the box too. The boxes we produce, and they get great results too. It isn't me making that happen at all, and I'm sure that Sean and Bex will tell you that themselves. If they're listening or watching this, they'll tell you that. We are not in any contractual business agreement whatsoever. They're not my sponsors. I'm not theirs. Do you know what I'm saying? They've just bought a Ghost Box from FCD and they like them. It's as simple as that. So get over that one, Gordon. I was genuine purchasing. So were they. For something much bigger. So, but what you're saying is you're involved. When you bought them Ghost Boxes, you're bragging now about being involved in something that's much bigger than Ghost Dimensions. You're thinking that, I could have come along with you, done Ghost Dimensions, and come along with your bigger project. I couldn't care less. I've no time to be involved in any project. I'm too busy producing the Ghost Boxes. Do you not get that, Gordon? Hey? So your argument there falls on stony ground, my friend. I were never bothered about being in something as big as Ghost Dimensions. I appreciate what they do from a viewer's standpoint and a friend, because I like Sean, he's a nice guy, and Bex, I don't know them. I don't know them in the real world. Hopefully one day we can meet up. It'd be fantastic. I do think we'd get on. But, because they're nice people. That's all it takes for me. Genuinely nice people. So, we get on the footing that they've tried the FCD Mark IV plus just Ghost Box, and they like it. That's all. They could have hated it, and we'd be in a totally different position. So you're just jealous, Gordon. And whatever your project is, good luck with it, my friend. Good luck. You need to change your attitude, though, because I don't think it'll last 5 minutes if they're all like you involved in it. So yes, I really was saddened. Here we go. Public sympathy vote. By your actions and business rhetoric behaviour, I have truly seen the reality of the fact that you are out to be negative. Yeah. I'd rather give to genuine people. There are the things I said about the, 2 years ago about the FCD or the ITC Ghost Box builders who were being sort of negative and doing really sly things and that, and making false claims about myself and that to the public, lying, trying, just like he's doing now again. Okay, he's just doing it there. It's got nothing to do with him purchasing Ghost Boxes from FCD. Look how he's gone on about everything about me as a person, ad hominem. That's all he's capable of, and he's doing it. It's all in black and white. Okay. So he's really saddened, though, about my behaviour. Maybe he's sad that he's called me a mental case. Is he sad about that? Is he sad that he said that he's quite laughingly said that I've had a mental breakdown for 2 years? Is he sad about that? Don't be sad, Gordon, because it's not true. Silly man. I have truly seen the reality of how I said that. I'm also glad I got multiple boxes off, and here we go again. They're so daft, are these people, that they're telling you what their agenda really is. I got multiple boxes, so he's saying, so it's much better than yours, because I bought multiple boxes off Mark Coulter before his breakdown. So, we're going to talk about Mark Coulter. He's a shit stirrer. I don't care whether you liked his boxes out there or not. He might produce the best Ghost Boxes this country's ever had. Who knows? But as a person, you're a little shit stirrer. He did nothing but lie to the public like this guy is doing. And I'm not surprised you bought boxes off Mark Coulter. You seem like you cut out the same cloth. Okay? When he decided to pack in through his breakdown, I wonder if he's still in breakdown. I wonder. Right? Or how his marriage is going now. He refused, point blank, in public, to pay back people the money. He's actually a thief. He stole money off people that I know, other customers who had bought from FCD as well as Mark Coulter, and he'd not sent them the products. So you can back up Mark Coulter as much as you like. Mark Coulter bragged 2 years ago, Gordon, my friend, and you saw this, that he brought me into the ICT world. They all do this, these egotistic narcissists. He didn't at all. I was doing the ITC Ghost Box building, right, originally, before I'd even heard of Mark Coulter. And as proof of that, when I was going to probe conferences in Blackpool, I designed a box there that was working on a crystal radio element that had been actually channeled to me, and nothing to do with ghost boxes that were being built either here or in America. And no idea who he was. And that's how I got the path from the other side of the UFOs and paranormal into ITC. Nothing to do with him. But he wanted the credit because he's an egotist. And that's what some people are in this room. You've got it wrong. They're not all due to a mental breakdown. What it is, they can't keep going because they're not living realistically and appreciating the realistic things around them. They're building themselves up into something that they can't keep going. And it didn't surprise me. I said to my wife, eventually Mark Coulter's will come a cropper. You could see it coming. Because you can't do that to people. And he did. And he proved it in the end because, well, his friends tried to keep it very well covered up. They tried the best. But it got out there, and like I say, he stole money off people. Has he paid it back yet? Who knows? I'll take it back. That if he's paid them back, then I'll take it back and apologise to him that he hasn't stolen it. But I can tell you one or two people that he hasn't paid it back to yet. How long's this breakdown going to go on for, Gordon? Hey? Ridiculous. So he's telling me about what I need to do now as a person, okay? You see, if you pump negative energy and make negative decisions, as you are daily, so he knows what I do every single day, doesn't he, this Gordon? Is he some sort of guru, or is he omnipresent? Whoa, must be godlike. Don't know. He knows what I do every single day. It's all going to bite your ass, yeah. ITC is a funny one that can make or break. It is, you're dead right there. It can make or break. So what you have to do is be honest, decent, and do the best you can. And it usually makes you then, Gordon. Take a look at the many who have mental health issues. He's obsessed with mental health issues through the building of boxes. So he's saying that it's actually the building of the boxes that gives you the mental health issues. That is very, very strange. That's a funny, strange act. That's a bit like saying you get broken legs, right, if you're a ballet dancer, okay, or that you become thin if you eat tons of chocolate. The thing's just, what he's saying, doesn't it? It makes no sense whatsoever. Building boxes has got nothing to do with whether you get any mental health issues. It's how you cope with building boxes or cope with anything other in your life that could be stressful. I don't find building boxes that stressful. Sometimes, like last week when we had that mega great week, we got lots of orders all in at one time. It's a great thing because it brings us more income. And it's helping more customers, so it's a little bit stressful. But it's not to the stressful of having a breakdown or that you can't cope anymore. I wouldn't be on the microphone a week later talking about it all to you, would I, Gordon? Do I sound like I've had a breakdown? I sound completely... It's my birthday, I'm happy! Hey! Alright, so he's put... I have a nice little... Here we go again, he's bragging. It's the jealousy. What's happened is... Ghost Dimensions, and it's not Beck's or Sean's fault at all, they're lovely people, but it's people like you, Gordon, right? You've seen that, you're jealous to death, you think you've got your own project going on that's going to be better than Ghost Dimensions. Well, good luck with that, right? Because you're telling us all about it here and telling public that you're a much better person than I'll ever be, and you've got a better collaboration. I've got no collaboration going on. I haven't got time because I build ghost boxes. You've put this. I have a nice little collaboration with Katie Holte. Well, Katie, honestly, if you're a decent person, I'd have a good think about the guy that you've got on board with you. But please don't attack me for saying that. I really wish you well. and the Orion Phoenix builds. I'm sorry, I'm so busy and concentrating on my own FCD Ghost Boxes. I apologise, I've not really come across them yet. I don't know if they're here or over in the US or wherever they are. Maybe I'm out of touch because I don't bother with the other ITC builders. But he's saying she's taking ITC to the next level. Well, if she is, isn't that a good thing for ITC? And I hope she offers it to everybody like we do with FCD Ghost Boxes at an affordable amount, so that not only are you running a legit business and making a little bit of profit and money in that, but you're also helping people to afford a ghost box. I hope she does that herself, and I'm pretty sure she'll be a decent person if she does that. And he's humbled to be working on helping code sound on such a massive project. Well, God, you need to, Gordon, take it from me. You need to concentrate more on what you're doing and not worry about what other people do so much. Because you know what this comes across as? When people read all of this, what you've put in public, I never asked you to put any of this, you did it yourself. It makes you wonder if you've got problems. And I'm not going to attack you for that. I think you need to get some help. I really do. I think that you're the one that's so obsessed with what I do and how I do it that it's getting to you. Please take it from me, then you can settle down and forget about it, hopefully. I've got no agendas, I've got no mental health issues. I'm not breaking down at all. I'm in pretty good health for my age. And I'm very happy. I'm happy with my younger wife as well, and she's happy with me. Helen had a right good laugh about that one. Are you a bit jealous of that, Gordon? Who knows? Who knows? I know nothing about your life. I'm not interested in your life. Your life is what you do. It's nothing to do with me. You're not part of my family, are you? You're not part of anything. So that's the problem you've got, okay? So you're putting big letters again. I'm not on any agenda. All right, well, good. Carry on. Carry on, Gordon. Get on with your project. Make it the best there's ever been. And everybody will wish you well. I mean, it's not being sarcastic. That's what you should concentrate on doing instead of attacking people. It's ridiculous. And move on. You know, I didn't have a meltdown or a breakdown longer than 2 years ago. But anyway, when it happened, when I decided myself, after all the abuse, similar to what you've given me on these slides, okay, and them letters in that public forum, very similar, sounds almost the same. And if you look back at the old videos, you'll see that. But I moved away from that, Gordon. I made that conscious decision to do that, to leave people like you alone to do your own thing and be bitter elsewhere. I don't like jealous people. And you need to just concentrate on your own stuff. It's as simple as that. That's what I'll carry on doing. After this, I won't be bothered whether you... like I said, I had a great week last week. Yours was just a little blip that were quickly forgotten about. But I promised you I'd make the video, and I have done. And you know who you are. I haven't given you surname because I respect that. I don't want you getting a load of hassle. There are plenty of people who support FCD who would turn on you, but I'm not like you. I'm not going to put it all out in public and tell your full name because I'm not interested in hurting people. All right? Have a think next time you're having to go at people over mental health issues and things like that, how much harm you could be causing them. It's a disgrace, my friend, a disgrace. But you're not affecting me because I haven't got any. I'm just normal guy, you know, normal family, normal wife, and everything. We just get on and just get on with what we're doing, run a lovely little business that we enjoy doing. And I'm very privileged. I feel very, you know, sometimes I sit back and think, wow, if this hadn't come to me and I could do this. Because I've delved in sort of like electronics on vehicles in the past. That's been my background. I used to be a motorcycle maintenance engineer, working, you know, and teaching it to kids in schools. Hard to reach kids who did have sometimes mental stability problems, who did have poor family backgrounds, who did have, you know, issues with schooling and things. I used to teach them basic skills through electronics and, like I say, electrical engineering on motorbikes. They used to love it. You focus their attention on things, these kids loved it. Now, I know all about that. I've studied all about, you know, mental health issues and things through that work. I was a teacher, a tutor for many years. Now you're just talking crap, my friend. I'm sorry, Gordon, but yeah, I think you need to. I don't think you've got mental problems yourself, but I think you need to focus on what's good for you. And don't worry too much about me or FCD and move on. Okay? That'll do you the world of good. Okay, so he's more or less saying, if I do this video, I'm pushing for the next agenda. No, I'm not. I've just told you, get on with your life. I'm not interested. And if you do start an agenda, it'll be like this one. People will see it for what it is, and it'll just be pathetic. You're not affecting anything. Last week, when you did all that, did it affect? Probably the best week sales we've had even before the pandemic. Amazing. So it didn't affect anything, did it? What did you achieve? Nothing. But that's you in your world, I'm afraid. So that's it. Rant over, as Gordon would say. There's another rant from Nigel. No, not really. Just want you people to know out there that some of the things that we do have to deal with sometimes. 99.9% of our customers are lovely people, genuine. They love their Ghost Boxes from FCD. They wouldn't say so otherwise, and it just gets to some people. Some people are just jealous. I've shown you there. And do you remember, I'm going to finish off on this, the Arduino thing? Well, if you think that this is just coincidence, you know what I'd do? I'd go onto Etsy and have a look at the people that do produce Ghost Boxes with Arduinos in them. And maybe, you know, you'd have an idea then of the kind of people that are behind this sort of rubbish. They're just silly people. And we know there's one in particular who has recently been copying FCD type Ghost Boxes. Yet he threatened me way back then a few years ago that I must never copy any Arduino Ghost Boxes. Isn't that weird, eh? So there you go. That's how it rolls. Well, I'm just going to finish off now, and thank you for listening to it all. I'm not upset by it. I hope that comes across in my voice. I've tried to be as factual as I can, give my reasons for all of this. Do I regret selling to Gordon? No, not at all. We like to sell, and he's saying I'm stupid because I've lost £200 from him and things. We made £200 much more in the day that we refunded him. You know what I mean? By selling to genuine people who wanted a Ghost Box for real reasons, not to do what he did. And, you know, he really thinks that his little scheme there would affect everything. It doesn't. Lots of people have tried that over the years, especially, like I say, on eBay when it was allowed on there. It was a waste of time for themselves. I don't know why they go through it, to be honest with you, but they do. And that's what they're like. Okay, let's go back to normal. There I am. Still looking, I'm still smiling. And, you know, why would I not be happy? Excuse me, why would I not be happy if we've just had a great week of sales? But it's not me proving. If anyone would like to see the sales figures for that week, well, they're private. But I don't think I'm just telling you the truth. It's a simple fact. And yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure if you go onto Etsy and see the number, I don't think it shows you the number of sales in what period. You'll see that we sold quite a few. I'm trying to think of the numbers. It's dozens within a week, okay, of that particular model, because people love that model, and I'm so chuffed they do. And you know, it's just simple as that. But we're not under any illusions. People love other Ghost Box builders models. You see it on their reviews. They like theirs. What we need to get past, and I've said this loads of times in loads of videos, is the fact that because they love somebody else's, you don't go attacking somebody else that produces them. I've never done that, and they don't like it. They want me to be the same as them. They want me to have the same attitude as them. Dog eat dog. Nah, not interested. I'm involved in this to just help customers get a Ghost Box at an affordable price. That's our ethics, always will be. Not interested in becoming the best Ghost Box builder. Like he said, that Gordon's working with Sunday Katie, Sunday Hutley or something, Hulte, who's producing the best Ghost Boxes next generation. Well, if he is, then he'll get that recognition for that, won't he? And do you think I'll come in here and have a rant about him? So I'm jealous to death, you know, and try to do something to him to try and stop that from happening? No. No, the world's big enough for everybody. in every way. It's a simple fact. They need to get over themselves, people like that. I think they need to actually get some help. And when I say that, I don't say it in a derogatory way like he's been doing in the video. I really mean they need to get help on a professional level to make them understand that what they're saying and doing is a bit childish, in my view. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it is. They're doing nothing. If you watch all of that and read through all them comments, okay, you ask yourself, how does that come across? Just ask yourself that. And anybody who's mature enough to understand will see that it's just a load of it's a response from Gordon. Let's sum it up now. It's a response from him because he didn't get his way with a certain mythology that he'd worked out that probably he thought he could be clever with, and it didn't work. So what's happened is now he's attacking the person, and that happens a lot. They do it. You can't win one way, you try and win another. And he'll think in his own mind he's won. Or he'll go on to try to continue threatening there. You do this against me. If he was so right, why would he be so worried about what I'm going to do? If I really had a breakdown and were mentally disturbed, right, as he's implying there, okay, why would he be worried about what I'm going to do? I've not mentioned his surname. If I were mental, I might just be ranting his name everywhere, wouldn't I? I've not told you anything about negative about what he's going to do. That's up to him. I'm not really interested. I've got too much going on in my own world. And I'm really happy. Gordon, look at this face, okay? Does this look like a man who's had a mental breakdown because he came away from the ITC builders community a couple of years back? No, it was 10 times better that I did that because I've just got on with my own things and not had all the silly hassle from people like yourself. It was the best thing I ever did. And I know that knacks you, but that's something you've got to get over. You just do that, my friend, okay? And good luck with your project. All the best, guys. See ya.